There are moments in life when something inside you moves quietly, a pull toward doing what is right, even when no one is watching. That invisible pull, that inner discipline is not random, it is a call from a higher order, a signal that you are walking in harmony with something sacred. Many live their whole lives chasing recognition from others, but the chosen ones, they seek recognition from heaven itself. And today, perhaps without even knowing it, you made heaven smile. In the ancient Shaolin tradition, every breath, every movement, every thought is considered an offering. The monks believed that when the heart acts with sincerity and the body moves with awareness, the divine feels it, not in words, but in vibration. To live this way is to understand that your life is not yours alone. It is part of a greater rhythm, a sacred dance between your spirit and the universe. In this teaching, I will guide you to recognize the signs that you are walking the chosen path and reveal the one practice that keeps the divine connection alive within you. You will discover how discipline transforms into freedom, how presence becomes prayer, and how even the smallest act of awareness can echo to realms unseen. Those who stay till the end will not just hear words, they will remember something ancient within themselves. I am Shi Heng Yi, a disciple of the Shaolin Way, and this is Shaolin Soulfire, where inner strength meets spiritual awakening. If this message resonates with your spirit, join our path. Subscribe, stay present, and let us walk this road of mastery together, one breath, one act of awareness at a time. There is a silence that exists between two breaths, a space so small yet so powerful that entire lifetimes can be transformed within it. That silence is presence. It is the one thing that separates the restless mind from the awakened one. When I trained in the temple, my master would often say, "The body is here, but where is your mind?" At first, I did not understand. I was standing before him, breathing, focused, or so I thought. But he would shake his head and say, "Your body moves, yet your mind travels to yesterday and tomorrow. Bring it home." Those words became a mirror I still carry today. Presence is not about sitting in stillness or forcing calm. It is the act of being fully awake inside your own life, to feel the ground beneath your feet, to notice the rise and fall of your breath, to sense the rhythm of your heartbeat as if it were a sacred drum keeping time with the universe. This awareness is the gateway, the door through which all mastery begins. In Shaolin teaching, attention is energy. Where your attention goes, your life flows. When your attention scatters, your power leaks into 1,000 directions. But when it gathers, when it rests on the breath, on the step, on the task before you, your spirit becomes whole again. The chaos dissolves, and clarity returns. Presence is not something you seek. It is something you remember. You were born with it. It lives in you each moment you stop running from the now. So, keep doing this one thing, remain in the breath, aware of your body, steady in your mind. For in sustained presence, you meet yourself, and through yourself, you meet the divine. In the Shaolin Way, there is no boundary between the spiritual and the physical. The temple walls echoed with the sound of fists striking sandbags and chants rising through incense smoke, both expressions of the same devotion. The monks understood, to master the body is to shape the mind, to master the mind is to free the spirit. Every movement carried intention. Each stance was more than a technique, it was a meditation in motion. When a monk lifted his leg or steadied his breath, he wasn't just training muscles, he was sculpting awareness. The body became the brush, the mind the artist, and life itself the canvas. True discipline does not live in grand gestures, it appears in small, precise acts. How you rise in the morning, how you breathe when faced with anger, how you stand when no one is watching. Every physical act is a chance to awaken the mind. Every thought is a chance to guide the body towards stillness. The Shaolin path teaches that the mind is the commander, but the body is the loyal soldier. When they move together, in harmony, without resistance, power becomes effortless. You no longer push against life, you move with it. This is the essence of mastery, unity within. When the body grows strong, the mind finds steadiness. When the mind becomes still, the body moves with grace. Through this union, awareness deepens and life itself transforms into a continuous meditation. The sacred is no longer hidden in temples or scriptures. It breathes through your posture, your breath, your quiet strength. In the simple rhythm of movement and stillness, the ancient truth is revealed. The path to mastery begins not outside of you, but within the alignment of body and mind. Discipline in the Shaolin tradition was never born from force. It was born from devotion, a quiet, enduring promise made to oneself. In the early hours before sunrise, when the temple courtyards were still cloaked in mist, the monks would rise, not because someone ordered them to, but because their spirit had learned to move before their thoughts could argue. This is the essence of discipline without harshness, the kind that flows from inner respect rather than fear. Many misunderstand discipline as a chain, something that restricts freedom, but in truth, it is the structure that allows freedom to exist. A river flows beautifully because its banks guide it. In the same way, structure gives direction to your energy. Without it, the mind drifts into chaos. With it, your life becomes a flowing current of purpose. When you honor your commitments, especially in the moments when motivation fades, you awaken something sacred within you, trust. Each time you show up despite resistance, that trust deepens. It is not punishment to rise early, to meditate, to train, to breathe consciously. It is a declaration that your higher self, not your mood, is in command. The Shaolin masters teach that consistency polishes the soul, the way water smooths stone. No strike, no breath, no step is wasted. Every repetition strengthens presence. Every small act of showing up builds the quiet confidence that can carry you through storms. So walk gently with your discipline. Let it be firm but not cruel. Let it remind you of your strength, not your weakness. True mastery is not found in forcing the self, but in befriending it, guiding it patiently toward harmony. Through that gentleness, discipline becomes not a burden, but a path to liberation. In the temple there was a saying, too much movement and you scatter, too much stillness and you sink. The art of mastery lives in the space between these two extremes, where stillness and action become one. The monks trained for hours in silence, their bodies a blur of precision and power. Yet, after the final bow, they would sit in deep meditation, unmoving, as if the world itself had stopped breathing. This balance was not accidental. It was a deliberate dance, movement shaped by stillness, and stillness enriched by movement. Stillness without action becomes stagnation. It softens the will and dulls the edge of awareness. Action without stillness becomes chaos, a restless fire that burns without light. The wise learn to carry silence into motion, to let calm guide every strike, every step, every decision. When you move, move with awareness. Let your actions arise from the quiet center within you. Feel each breath as a thread connecting body and mind, grounding you even in motion. And when you rest, do not collapse into distraction. Remain present, awake, listening to the hum of existence. The Shaolin masters knew that balance is not found, it is cultivated. Through the rhythm of training and meditation, of effort and surrender, the mind learns to rest even while the body works. This is the secret of grace, the warrior who fights without hatred, the sage who sits without sloth. Harmony between stillness and action is not just a practice, it is a way of being. In that union, life moves effortlessly. The river flows, the mountain stands, and you, grounded yet alive, become both. This is the middle path, where peace and power walk side by side. There is a quiet truth that shapes every moment of our lives, where your attention rests, your energy follows. The Shaolin masters called it the invisible art, the unseen training that determines the quality of one's mind, movement, and destiny. In the temple before any strike or meditation, the lesson always began with a single question: where is your mind? The young disciples would bow, thinking it a simple inquiry, but the masters knew the answer to that question reveals the state of your entire being. If your attention is scattered, your power is scattered. If your attention is steady, your life becomes whole. Attention is not merely focus, it is choice. It is the act of directing your life force with purpose. Every thought you feed grows stronger. Every distraction you indulge steals a fragment of your strength. To master attention is to reclaim your power from the thousand illusions that seek to claim it. When your attention rests on anger, it shapes you. When it rests on gratitude, it transforms you. The Shaolin Way teaches that attention is the seed of karma. What you nourish through awareness becomes your life's fruit. Today, you made the divine smile not through grand acts, but through quiet direction. You chose to place your attention on something higher, perhaps kindness, discipline, stillness, or truth. In that choice, the universe aligned with you. Keep doing that. Keep noticing where your attention drifts and gently return it to the present, to the breath, to purpose. For the one who commands their attention commands their destiny. And when your attention becomes pure, unwavering, and awake, every action, no matter how small, becomes an offering to the sacred that lives within you. In the quiet of the mountains, the monks would often train through wind and rain. The storms that shook the valley were never reasons to stop. They were part of the lesson. One elder once said, "If you only find peace when the sky is clear, you will never know true stillness." Those words carried the essence of the Shaolin path. Peace is not the absence of storms, but the strength to remain steady within them. Inner turmoil is like weather passing through the sky of the mind. It comes with noise, flashes, and wind, but it always passes. The mistake is not in feeling anger, sadness, or fear. The mistake is in believing you must fight or hide from them. The Shaolin teaching is simple. Do not suppress the storm. Meet it with awareness. When turmoil rises, breathe into it. Watch it, feel it, let it speak, but do not let it lead. The body may tighten, the thoughts may swirl, but your awareness remains like the mountain, unmoved. In this space, transformation begins. The energy once bound in emotion becomes fuel for clarity and strength. Stillness is not a gift given by calm circumstances. It is a discipline forged through presence. To face unrest without running is to meet yourself in your truest form. This is where mastery takes root. Not in silence or perfection, but in the courage to remain open amid discomfort. So when restlessness visits, do not turn away. Welcome it as a teacher. Stand within it, breathe deeply, and remember, storms are not here to break you, but to reveal how deeply rooted your peace has become. In that awareness, even chaos bows before calm. The temple was not built for one monk alone. Each stone, each beam, each incense offering was part of a greater purpose, a service beyond the self. The Shaolin masters taught that to be chosen is to be of use, to carry your strength not only for yourself, but for the world around you. True power is measured by how it serves, not by how it dominates. Humility, respect, and righteousness were not abstract virtues. They were the foundation of every movement, every word, every breath. A monk bowed to the novice, not out of obligation, but to honor the shared path. He carried water not to earn praise, but to sustain life. In every act of service, the divine presence was reflected. Presence is the bridge between inner mastery and outward action. When you remain fully awake, in conversation, in work, in simple gestures, your attention becomes a gift. The way you listen, the way you act, the way you respond to challenge, all radiate awareness. Each moment becomes an offering, a chance to serve with integrity. The one thing is simple yet profound: be present in your life, and let that presence guide your service. In doing so, virtue flows naturally. Small acts, unnoticed by the world, carry immense power. A kind word, a steady hand, a patient ear, each shapes the environment and strengthens your own spirit. To live with purpose is to recognize that your life is intertwined with others. Mastery is not isolation nor self-glory. It is the quiet understanding that your strength, discipline, and awareness exist to uplift, support, and heal. When presence and service unite, your actions become sacred, and the world, however quietly, feels the echo of your virtue. In the quiet halls of the monastery, the monks would perform tasks that seemed insignificant to an outsider, sweeping the courtyard, arranging bowls, polishing wood. Yet the elders would remind them, the greatness of the mountain lies in the stones that form it. Mastery is rarely born from one grand act. It grows quietly, patiently, from small repeated actions carried out with awareness. Every habit, no matter how simple, becomes a brushstroke in the portrait of your life. The way you hold your posture, the way you breathe in tension, the attention you give to small gestures, these are the true markers of discipline. A bowed head, a steady hand, a mindful step, each carries the power to transform both your inner world and the world around you. The Shaolin Way teaches that the ripple of small acts can shape rivers. A single moment of patience with yourself or another, a conscious breath in stress, a quiet decision to act rightly, these may seem minor, yet they cultivate the roots of strength, presence, and clarity. Today, perhaps without fanfare or recognition, you made God smile. It could have been a simple choice, a kind word, a steady action, a mindful breath. That small act, repeated over days and months, builds mastery, greater than any dramatic display of skill or power. Keep doing the small thing. Keep showing up for your life, for your awareness, for each moment. Presence is not measured in size or spectacle, but in fidelity to the now. In attending fully to the small, the ordinary, you shape the extraordinary, the quiet, unshakable mastery that carries you through storms, strengthens your spirit, and honors the sacred within every action. In the early morning light, the temple courtyards were filled with motion, each movement precise, deliberate, and guided by ancient forms. To a casual observer, it might have seemed rigid, even restrictive. But for those who understood, each form, each ritual, each disciplined step was a doorway to freedom. Structure was not a cage, it was the path that allowed the spirit to soar. The Shaolin masters knew the paradox of mastery. True freedom is born within boundaries. Without form, the mind wanders, the body slackens, and presence slips away. With form, however, even the simplest breath becomes a practice, every movement a meditation. Ritual and discipline are not obstacles to liberty. They are the channels through which the limitless unfolds. Consider the daily habits of the monks: bowing, cleaning, training, meditating. Each act may appear small, repetitive, mundane, yet within that repetition lies liberation. By honoring the structure, the practitioner cultivates focus, steadiness, and clarity. Form anchors attention and transforms it into presence. The discipline of structure allows the mind to move freely within its boundaries, unshaken by distraction or chaos. This is the lesson for anyone walking the path of mastery. Freedom does not come from abandoning rules, but from embracing them consciously. The one thing, presence, grows stronger when it is supported by consistent rituals. A brief moment of stillness in the morning, a mindful breath between tasks, a quiet check-in with your body and mind. These small acts of structure become scaffolding for inner liberty. Through structure, the ordinary becomes sacred, and presence transforms from fleeting awareness into lasting mastery. The form holds you, guides you, and ultimately sets you free. In that balance of discipline and awareness, you discover that the path itself is the practice, and the freedom you seek has been within reach all along. You are chosen not because you are flawless, but because you answered the quiet call to grow, to act with virtue, and to remain fully present. The path is simple yet profound. Continue practicing presence, staying awake in your body, your mind, and your life. Through this awareness, you unify body and mind, temper discipline with gentleness, balance stillness and action, direct your attention with care, transform inner turmoil into calm, serve with virtue, honor the small steps, and find freedom within structure. Each mindful breath, each conscious act is a thread weaving the fabric of your mastery. By keeping your attention grounded in the now, you nurture your true self and allow the highest good to shine through your life. The journey is not about perfection, but about consistency, showing up for yourself and the world moment by moment. Carry this practice into your daily life. Let presence guide your choices, strengthen your discipline, and illuminate even the simplest tasks. In doing so, you awaken not just skill, but serenity, purpose, and quiet power. May your steps be steady, your mind calm, and your heart aligned with what is true and good. If this message resonates with your spirit, Join our path at Shaolin Soulfire. Like, subscribe, and continue walking the journey of mastery and awakening with us, one mindful moment at a time.